Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Work Harder podcast. And today we will continue from our last episode. We talked about the lots of personalities, and today we'll talk more of those personalities. And So, this time, first, we'll talk about the nice person. Uh, these kind of person always have a good temper, and they always seem cheerful and very agreeable. And these kind of person makes a great friend and generally have lots of friends and colleagues. And these kind of nice person learn early in their life that being nice will give them a reward, or being nice is the only way to have other accept them. So they always doing what they should be doing, intent on pleasing others, saying yes to everyone. And so, nice person never gets angry but learns to accept and adapt to every situations. On the surface, nice person is happy and content to be a part of the group, but inside they feel empty and they are very afraid of being themselves, because as I told you guys that they have already accepted that if they are nice, accepting and adapt to every behavior, accept whatever the others are giving them, then other person will appreciate it, not for who they really are. So uh so the thing that they sometimes, after behaving this way, they lost touch with what they really want or who they really are, because they have done everything right according to the rules but secretly feel controlled and cheated, lifeless and bored. So the nice person basically feel trapped and they can never really open up because others would find out that they really are not that nice. So by being nice, they have successfully repressed their own special uniqueness and has become a non-person. So the nice person needs to start practicing saying no and meaning it. If they feel like, yeah, they don't appreciate the other person behavior, or they don't feel agree with the discussion, they really feel it, so they have to let other person know that this is their real feeling. uh, So they need to learn to express their anger instead of just agreeing whatever other person is saying. They must risk showing the not so nice person inside and see that not only will others still love them, but they may even feel closer to him or them because now they are behaving real, who they really are. Now, the other personality is self-righteous personality. So, the self-righteous person always feel like they're right. So this person has learned that if they are wrong, people will not love them and will consider them bad. So, in order to get love, they attempt to be right at all cost. They can never admit that they are wrong, for to confess their faults or failure would mean that they lost the love or attention, or so this might be very painful for them. So the self-righteous person often tries to make others wrong in order to be right themselves. They have rational excuses for everything they does. They could even become a great teacher, but don't try to have an argument with the self-righteous person, because it will sound more like they are lecturing you on why you are wrong, but they are right. So here's a solution. The self-righteous person needs to start practicing saying that they're sorry. Or whenever they make a mistake, they have to accept it. Or even when they have a great excuse, rationalization and justification are favorite ways of avoiding feelings, especially the feelings of guilt. This person needs to learn that others will love him even if he's wrong or makes mistake. So the third personality I'm going to talk is the angry person. The angry person always feels like they have been ripped off by their life and are constantly trying to get even. This kind of person walk around with a chip on their shoulder. For them, angry is protection, and it's a roar to scare away adversity. The angry person feels an inner inadequacy and is always trying to protect themselves. To compensate for that feeling of inadequacy, they refuse to be adequately satisfied by the outer world. Nothing can please these kind of person. They project themselves like they project their own inadequacy everywhere, hence feeling frustrated and bitter towards the world. They see the world in a negative perspective, and the angry person gets angry at the drop of a hat and remembers every injustice he has ever experienced. Um, they feel delights in the shortcomings and failures of others and thus becomes overly competitive. The angry person is stuck in feeling of anger and blame as a cover up for their own feeling of inadequacy and hurt. So they must learn that they still deserve love even they are inadequate in a certain area. Each day they should practice the love letter technique and forgiveness. Through loving and forgiving others, they will learn to truly love and forgive themselves. So the next personality is fake kind of person. These kind of person are really common in our society. These kind of person has played so many roles that they doesn't know who they really are anymore. Behind every mask is another. They are always acting according to how others will receive them. They will not risk controversy. They are an expert at impressing others in order to be liked or loved. They play the roles they think others want them to play, and in the process become a hypocrite and a fraud. The fake probably never felt appreciated for who they really are while growing up, so they decided that in order to get love, they had to be someone else, whomever others wanted them to be. Unfortunately, they can never trust anyone's love or appreciation because deep inside they knows that they are fake and others don't know who they really are. So so the fake has to practice to accept themselves for who they really are, and let go the mask they have been wearing, and try to know what they really like or dislike, or try to expressing it fully in front of their trusted ones. So guys, we are moving toward the next personality. The next personality is the believers. These kind of person has become so dependent on others for truth that they loses touch with the reality. These kind of person has become so you can say they learn growing up that to receive love they merely has to agree and believe what others tell them. If you have a common belief that the believer is your friend, and if you contradict his belief, you are his enemy. The believer loves to give away their own power and responsibility to others who can solve their problems for them. They expect you to love them because they agree with you. If you disappoint the believers' unrealistic expectation, they will withdraw their love and support. So the believer has never gotten over the fact that their parents were not perfect. They always has high hopes, but is inevitably let down by others, and will continue to be until they start to believe in themselves. Okay, so the believer must learn to take responsibility for their own life and forgive all the people who have let them down. They should question their all what they believe and relate it to their own personal experience. The believers need to learn to trust their own feelings, instincts, and choices, and look to himself as the source of power and wisdom in their life. So, guys, these were the most common personalities I talked in last episode and this episode. So there are more personalities which I'll mention, like the shy person. So the shy person basically react to others in fear, and there's like show off personality. These kind of person believe that what they does or possesses will make up for what they fail to be themselves. So they basically have low self-esteem. So they show off their money, or you can say what they have. The next personality is the lunar. So the loner, this kind of person is always proving that it doesn't need others. At some point while growing up, they didn't get the love and recognition they really wanted. So those who decided to give up on it. The loner has learned to become self-sufficient, but inside they are usually incredibly sensitive and caring spirit. So these last three personalities I didn't mention in details. If you really want to know, let me know. So there is one last personality, the sacrificer. The sacrificers is that kind of person which learned that to love means to sacrifice or to give up for another. Probably while growing up, the sacrificers' parents never let them forget how much they sacrificed and how they expected the same from the sacrificer. So for them, loving is tiresome matter because to show their love, they must always do what they prefer not to do or give up what they want to keep. So the sacrificer must learn to lighten up the heavy load they have placed on love and relationships. They needs to heal, build up repressed anger and resentment towards their parents and others, and to forgive them for laying a heavy guilt trip on them. The sacrificer needs to learn to give love freely without expecting equal sacrifice in return, and at the same time, they must remember not to give up their own needs and desire all the time. So, guys, these were total 13 personalities which we find in common in most of the people in most of our culture, and I'm pretty sure 7 to 8 personalities you could have relate to it, so it's okay. And I also mentioned how to change yourself if you have that kind of personality. So I believe that the childhood environment really mattered, and childhood development is your foundation. Even though you grow up, you go to university, office, you learn a lot of good things, develop your personality, but your foundation. What is your foundation? Your childhood foundation is like your reflexes, your first instinct. So I think we all should. I think we all should really focus on child development. So the child have a great future. Yes, and also have a great relation with the parents when they become adult. So guys, thank you for listening, and this was for all for today, and we will talk to the new topic in our next episode. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Thank you again, guys. Bye bye.